Homestead Miami Speedway, the crown jewel of the South here. Most sports start their season with the biggest. Most sports end their season with the biggest race. We start ours with the Daytona 500, which is also ended just about 300 miles away in Homestead, Miami here, and it is a great day to go racing. I am looking forward to seeing who will be taking home the checkered flag and a shot to win, or a championship on the line here in NASCAR Heat 3.
And it looks like everybody's going to be lining up in order here. They are going to be going this time by, from what I'm hearing from the tower. So this should be an interesting first lap, to say the least.
Gary, Mike, you've driven with these guys on the field. What are they feeling right now as they're about to get the drop of the green flag?
Well, I tell you what, they might be feeling a little bit nervous here. You see Bobby here on the pole, so I think they're just worried about trying to get around him early and often, and hopefully try to keep him mired back in traffic all day long. That's going to be the key.
And 1 second, and boogie, boogie, boogie! Let's go championship racing, drivers!
I like that. That's good.
Bobby Peters gets a good start on the inside. His RCR teammate, the 31 on the outside, stumbled a little bit. Here's the 43, also a championship contender. Bobby rounds out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway up to speed. Clears the 31 car, trying to get back up to the wall. The 43 car now under attack on third place, side by side, as the 2 leaders try to get away up front.
Here come off of 4. And it looks like the 3 of Peters.
Oh, trouble already! 18 of Kyle pushed into the inside wall hard. And he's going to lose a number of positions. And you'll have more contact in turn number 2.
Contact with the 10. But this race has just been crazy so far. It looks like the first 2 have kind of pulled away a little bit, but everybody else is just kind of beating and banging off each other like it's Bristol out here.
Now coming off of 4, these RCR teammates still hold a 1-2. While the rest of the field, I don't know what's going on with them.
Under attack right now, the 10 car and the 43. Those are championship contenders right now. They are in second and third, and that's not enough to win a championship. Bobby, who's won the last 3 races, looking for 4 in a row and to score that championship title, proving to be a factor already early as the 10 car crosses over. Ooh, contact between him and the 43. That's going to send the 43 wide and almost into the wall right there. I believe he did brush the wall as the field begins to single file itself out. Look at the run already. About 20 car lengths gap between first and second. That's Bobby Peters leading up front.
Yes, these guys. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, take it. I went off. Take it.
No, you're good. All right, so it looks like the 43 is kind of struggling to find his position right now, but it looks like everybody's so far pretty tame here in these first early going laps. That's kind of what you need to do here at Homestead, because once you kind of get going here, once the tires wear out, it's kind of look like everybody's going to be trying to find some grip out there.
A little bit further back, JGR teammates are still holding off that 22, while the championship drivers are pulling away.
Bobby Peters right now with an excellent lead in front of the 31, but the 10 car does look like he's running down the 31. A challenge for second, perhaps here within a couple of laps.
Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, if it looks like the high line is going to be the place to be as the run goes on, I think that's why you see Bobby pulling away as much as he is. So hopefully some of these other drivers catch on and can hopefully give the 3 car a run for his money.
Gary, you yourself have driven in this league, and it's a little bit different than the other leagues that we normally see here on NASCAR Heat 3. Now, this is a non-custom setup race, but you guys take it one step further. What do you do that's different from other league races?
Well, the only way I could really describe it, Alex, it's more of like an IROC type series where back in the day of IROC, they couldn't touch the cars once they were built. You couldn't make any adjustments during the race. You couldn't do any tire pressures or wedge or anything like that. So in this league here, really the only thing that you could touch on this car is fill it with fuel, change tires, and a minor tweak with the wedge. But other than that, you can't touch these race cars.
Battle for third heating up right now. As you see, the 43 has caught the 10 car and looking
side
underneath
side
there,
edge.
but trying to make something happen. The 10 car slips. That allows the 43 car to get up front.
Absolutely. You see these guys
side.
racing hard side by side for the most part. Looks like the 43 has a position for now as they head into turn 1.
And it looks like the 3 car has about like a 8-car length lead over his teammate in the 31. Question is, will the field be able to catch him with those 43 and the 10 battling behind him as they go off in the 3?
The more side by side they get, looks like the more that 3 car is just going to pull away with this thing.
We've already documented how many race wins Bobby Peters has in that 3 car. Giving a shout out to real life winner Austin Dillon, who put that 3 car to victory lane in the biggest race possible, the Daytona 500 earlier this year. What a day it would be to get the 3 car its first championship title since '94 with the man no other known than Dale Earnhardt back then. So it's been more than 14 years since RCR has gotten a title. They came close in 2014.
24 long years. That is very true. It has been 24 long years since RCR has been relevant as far as the championships go in the Cup Series. But looks like the 3 car is pulling away right now. And has a really
up
good
the
run.
track at the 43. 43 made a mistake right there, and that allowed the 10 to capitalize on it. He just slid. I think he just missed a corner. His tire wear beginning to show here as we get deeper into this run here, Gary.
Yeah, it looks like these tires, the more these tires fall off, it looks like the looser the car is going to get. So, like I said, what's really great about Homestead, 3 different lanes, 3 different degrees of banking, 18 on the bottom, 19 in the middle, and 20 up against the wall. So, as these tires wear on, I'm looking for these guys to possibly move more up and up the track. That way they can get a better handle on some things. And that high line is really going to be the place to be toward the end of the race, because you can get a lot of momentum on the exit of these corners if you hold it right up against the wall.
So that's Dylan Weck in the 43 here. Haven't been able to mention some names right now. In the 31, that is Daryl McKinney. He's not running for the championship. Our championship contenders remain the 3, the 10, and the 43. The 10 car is driven by, I actually don't have that information. Billy? Yes.
Billy Milner.
Billy Milner. And right now they look like they have
they're
their work.
3 wide, and oh my gosh, they made some contact there.
Oh, the 43 is down low. Wonder what the issue is. We got here live on the radio is about that.
Yeah, I'm not really hearing anything from the tower. There really hasn't been a caution called, so it's interesting to see that these guys are just kind of racing really hard. Maybe the 31 got loose up off the corner.
Probably
Gary,
did.
what is our lap count here coming toward the start-finish line? If you could possibly ask our race leader right now, and how many laps are left in stage 1?
Let me check on that for you.
Coming right back with that information here as the 43 continues to try and get away from the 10 car. Our championship leaders running 1, 2, 3. But right now, Bobby Peters continues to lead out front. Mike, that's where you want to be, but are you peaking too early? And do these guys really behind the field have a shot at catching that 3 car with what we've seen so far this season?
I have a feeling they might be able to catch that 3 car, because if these tires wear out quickly on that 3 car, then yeah, the field will get to it.
The gap now significant in between first and second, more than about 3-4 seconds in place. But the 43 car struggled, had that big slide in turn number 2 we saw a couple of laps ago, been able to regain confidence, and now the ability to drive that car back to the front.
20 car in the wall, sorry to interrupt. 20 scrapes the wall hard.
And it looks like we have about 23 or so laps to go in stage number 1 of this event. Tire management is really going to be a key factor in this, as you were attending to earlier, Alex. If these guys waste all their tires early on the run, they're not really going to be able to compete with Bobby, I don't think.
Tire management, one of our keys to success here at Homestead. You don't want to burn them up early. You can find yourself sliding to the back of the pack, or worse, perhaps in the wall. Trouble breaks out. We'll break in. We're going to take our first commercial break. You're watching NASCAR Heat 3 Racing. This is Smoke Tronics. Oh, we got trouble off the corner. 22 into the wall. Barrier hard. Joey Logano, we were just riding along with him, along with Kyle Busch. The 22 made contact. That will trigger a caution.
Here, folks. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
The words are on that 22, and it may have to be a red flag.
Now, one thing I will say about that's also unique with this league is they don't stop instantly when the caution comes out. They actually kind of take it a old school factor here, and they race back to the line.
So under our first caution of the day for a single car incident out of turn number 4, as the 3 car takes the caution flag, we saw the 18 of Kyle Busch. Looks like he just got loose up on the corner, slid down. The 22 was there, and he went head on into those water barrels that are set there to protect the butt end of the entrance of pit road. Caution is out for the first time today. Tires are on everyone's mind. I believe you're going to want 4 here. Do we see anybody place the strategy game early and take 2?
Well, I think with these 20-some laps on these tires, personally, I would take 4, but I mean, you never know. You might see a guy like
problems
Dylan.
going into pit road.
Gosh.
Sorry to interrupt. 43 hard into the inside wall.
Yeah, that was something there coming off on the exit of 4 there, trying to get everybody onto pit road.
And that was a mistake on the 43 car part, but meanwhile, let's go ahead and check in with the rest of the front runners right now. 55 miles an hour. Matt, Jim, the 3 car, Bobby Peters haven't said much on the radio, but the crew believing no news is good news right now. Going to be able to split this run in half, 20 and 20 here. Going to go with 4 tires and Sunoco fuel, no adjustments. As we mentioned before, this league definitely different than the others we normally see in NASCAR Heat 3. Perhaps a wedge adjustment going in, but you see he's going to go out insanely in first in front of the field. The 10 car second, and the 31 drops to third. Meanwhile, the problems on the 43 car, don't know exactly what happened there, but we'll check in with him in a moment.
Normally they always go down the access road, but what's with the situation here?
That is a mistake on the 43 car part. Lucky it happened under caution, but that's something you don't want to have late in this race. We've seen major championship implications happen because of mistakes on pit road. What comes to mind here, 2014, Joey Logano. Fact legend has it that pit crew is still trying to perform that pit stop. That
exactly.
Looks like they'll have 20 to go coming to the line here, and they're going to be going at the line every time in this league. They do not go with the restart zone, but it looks like Bobby's going to take the lead here, and he's chose the inside line.
That is the case, and it looks like the green flag is back out. Nope, next time by. False alarm.
They are going.
They're going.
They are back underway.
Oh,
green flag is out.
22 was able to drive in. 43 car dives
on the apron.
Man, problems continue.
Get himself loose.
Problems for 43 still continue.
Makes you wonder if he's going to be able to get his act together and possibly get the car handling right on this race car. Maybe with the wedge adjustment.
Oh, here comes Kyle Busch down pit road.
And he spins going into the pits.
I don't think that was Josh Holliday, and I don't think that was a scheduled pit stop.
No, to say the least. I don't believe that was a scheduled pit stop, but it looks like they are not calling caution. They're going to keep racing.
Bobby Peters now, first time we've seen him under pressure from his teammate, the 31 car. Been able to stay relatively close to his black bumper.
Yeah, it looks like Darrell, he was really pretty much on him until he made that mistake on the exit of 2 a few laps ago. But hopefully he can be able to sustain this for the entire run. Don't
look now, but that 10 car also trying to make a move.
But I am hearing from the 3 car of Bobby, he's actually suffering a very loose condition here in this race. So far in the early going.
Well, they're not good. But still, you can't separate these RCR cars unless you're in the 10. Which that might be, if that 10 has a good run, then he is going to separate those RCR cars.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key in this thing is somebody, I think one of these championship contenders, I think the only way they're going to be able to beat Bobby is if they take 2 tires on a pit stop.
Anyone now under pressure from the 10 car. 10 car looks underneath. You see those 3 kind of slide right there. It gave up a little bit of track time to the 31 and the 10. Now gaining it back right there through his car. So strong off the corner. That's really where he pulls them off. Turn 4 and turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely. He really does seem to get that run and get that car to rotate. But he's saying it's rotating a little too much right now in the center, being able to just power off into these onto these straightaways here.
Oh, that right rear is working right there. We saw that excellent camera work going on by NASCAR Heat 3 to provide you these pictures, ladies and gentlemen, at over 200 miles an hour as we see the 31 car take a higher line, trying to arc it in, but under pressure from the 10 car, who's looking underneath side by side for second, as the 3 car not getting the speed and not getting away like we saw earlier in the stage.
Well, I think people are starting to hear me or something, because it seems like everybody's starting to
contact
move
into
up
the
higher
wall.
and
The 20 of
higher.
Matt Kenseth.
Sorry to interrupt. The 20 of Eric Jones.
Excuse me, yes, that
Oh,
would be
wow,
Eric
looks
Jones.
like everybody's kind of getting loosey-goosey here in these turns. Anthony Duricott looks like he's having...
excuse me.
Duricott is going to have some trouble here driving that 20 car today.
So problems continue here for Joe Gibbs Racing. 2 of their cars now involved in incidents here early in the Ford EcoBoost 200 here from Smoke Tronics, presented to you by... And I actually, who's the sponsor again? I'm so sorry.
Textron Aviation.
Textron Aviation and Smoke Tronics.
Aviation.
Thank you, Dale, for putting on everything that you do for this series. We're coming around to about 12 laps to go here at the end of stage number 1.
10 car had a problem right there in turn 3. Lost a little bit of time. The 31 car, I tell you, that is the best thing that 3 car can see in his mirror there is a teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime that you have a teammate, whether he's racing for a championship or not, right there in your tire tracks, that's always a very comforting feeling.
Late in this race, if the 31 has a chance to win this race against the 3 car, does he take it?
You know, I think he wants to win just like everybody else, but I don't think he would necessarily move him out of the way, but I think he would try to pass him clean at the end of the race.
We know what the 31 car will do just to get into the championship run. We'll bring you back a flashback to 2014. It was at Phoenix, entering just the semi-annual race to get to the championship 4. Ryan Newman found himself 1 position outside of the top 4. Body slammed Kyle Larson to get to that top spot. When Jeff Gordon crossed the stripe in second, he was in, but by the time Newman crossed it, Jeff Gordon was out. Newman went on to finish second in this race back in 2014, despite not winning a race all season long, showing to be very strong.
Behind evidential champion winner Kevin Harvick.
Yes. And, you know, we have about 9 or 10 laps to go here in stage number 1, and it looks like that 31 car tends to fade towards the end of the run, but Bobby looks like he is just too strong throughout the entire run. Looks like he's got a really good car today.
That is the case between the 3 and the 31. The 43 is also in the tire tracks of that 10, chasing him down for third place.
Absolutely. It looks like this race has just been all about Bobby Peters so far, but as we see everybody kind of struggling here as I go through the field. But looks like Bobby's just going to have the car to beat, and somebody's going to have to take, I think they're going to have to take 2 tires at some point in the race to try to possibly even have a chance to beat him on a short run, maybe toward the end of the race.
Strategy, we've seen it.
Oh, 20 into the wall again! Something is definitely wrong with that 20 car.
You know, I'm surprised it's still running as many times as it's hit the wall so far in stage number 1. I wonder if he's going to have any car left by the time this thing's over. He's into the wall again.
He may not have a car left going into stage 3. I'm surprised he has everything except for the pace car so far.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Harry is getting on the radio right now and telling him to hit the pace car.
Yeah, I wonder that. We might go flashback to Days of Thunder for that quote.
Bobby Peters continues to lead in front of his teammate, that 31 machine. 10 car running the 3rd position, but ill handling characteristics on that race machine have him now under pressure from the 43, who's been able to fight back after he slipped on that restart there, Mike.
Yes, he did. Yes, he is fighting back. He's still up side by side. Oh, and problems for the 43. He scrapes the wall.
But I will say, from this 43 team, it seems like all year their motto has been never give up and always keep fighting. And that's what it looks like these guys are doing here. They're trying to fight and get all they can out of this car as we enter into the closing laps of the stage.
Exactly.
Billy in that 43 had issues just getting on here tonight, so it's actually pretty cool to see him try to compete for a championship here after 20, 30 minutes ago. We didn't know if he would even be in the race car right now.
Yeah, about 20, 30 minutes ago, he was on the road, and saying his wife had an issue or something like that, had a fall, so we're kind of thinking of her right now. But his log time was up for the day, and so he had to pull over and was able to pull over and be able to start this race. But we are having about 5 laps to go left in stage number 1.
Coming to 5 to go.
Coming to 5 to go.
Bobby Peters continuing to lead this freight train at over 200 miles an hour here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Now keep in mind, with the way NASCAR ruling, normally throughout the first 35 races, we see these stages breaking up and the top 10 are awarded stage points. But this race is different considering it is the finale, and so now it doesn't matter what points you score unless you're outside of the top 4. You can always improve your position with the stage points that you get. But for the championship 3 that we find, it's basically winner takes all.
Problems for the 18. Problems for the 18.
Problems for the 20 as well. Looks like both Joe Gibbs cars are off the pace.
He's way off pace.
18
Something
accomplished.
might be wrong with that 18 car.
That'll be his 2nd lap. You remember he went down pit road and actually spun down. So 2 laps behind, the 3 of Bobby Peters. And look at this. The 31 has actually closed the gap on his teammate.
Yes, he has. And also, this would be a perfect time for good NASCAR trivia. Brought to you by Textron Aviation. Last time. Continue.
No, I was going to say what you got, but you're going to go ahead and keep going. Go ahead.
All right. Who won the first? The first time Homestead Miami had lights in 2005. Who won that race?
Oh, I know this. Do you know it, Gary? Do you want me to say it?
I think we're thinking the same guy. Is it Biffle?
It was Greg Biffle.
Yes, it was Biffle.
And I believe that was one of his 3 in a row at that racetrack. I think he won the race in 04, 05, and 06. He had a pretty down run those 2 years.
Around goes the 20. Oh wait, no, never mind.
Oh, he's loose. Both these Gibbs cars are struggling here.
We have a battle here for first place here, folks. The 31 car, he might have been saving a little something in the tank and on his tires because he has been able to run down Bobby Peters. That's the first time we've seen that happen today.
Yes, that is.
2 to go.
And that is the end of the stage.
No, that was it.
Stage number 1. I'm very sorry. I don't know how to count laps, guys. I'm very sorry.
Today's winner is the 3 car.
Bobby Peters
winner.
Showing championship caliber early here in the Ford EcoBoost 200. The rest of the field has some work left to be done. Pit stops and a restart when we return.
Took me a minute to actually redo that whole question. I actually had it written out and then I screwed up typing, so I had to reread it.
happens. But what do you guys think about this race so far? It looks like Daryl, he might have something here if he can make. I think he's just about an adjustment away from possibly doing something.
I like the tire management of the 31 and the 43. The 43 doesn't fire off well, but we've been able to see him run down the 10 car. And if he could just manage to string some consecutive good laps together, I think he could get around. Lead change for the first time today, the 22.
Yeah, we have a strategy call here early on in this race in stage 2, and we are back underway.
Green flag back out here at Homestead.
3 wide as they enter the corner in turn number 1. The 31 car in the middle. Bobby Peters on the outside. First time we've seen him in traffic. Now the 43 car almost gets into the side of him as the 10 car rounds off the corner. The 43 car looking loose underneath the 3. Contact!
10 car into the wall.
Big time crash.
And around goes that 43. 10 car is collected. 18 also involved.
Major championship
That's
implications.
half of the field. Is there a caution?
There will be a caution as they race to the line. 31 car leads them to the
31
yellow.
has the lead.
Caution is out. Caution is out here. Caution will wave. You know, that was a really great restart there by the 31 of Daryl there. Looked like Bobby, though, was trying to give him a push to move a little faster at the exit of 2.
I was just saying there in our commercial break about how the 43 car might need to be a little bit more patient, but to try and get as many positions as you can during a restart, I mean, that's in your nature, right, Gary and Mike? That's what you want to do as a driver. But how do you balance that between knowing what your car has and what you need to have done on the track?
If I could cut in real quick, I am just now being made aware of a rule that is in place for this league. It's just going to be a quick caution here. And with that being said, they're not going to pit, but I'm hearing that the rule is they have to complete 2 laps before there is a caution in this league.
Okay.
So I guess they try to promote some green flag racing before they actually start calling the yellows here.
Green flag back
out in the air.
You did see the 18 get one of his laps back.
Yeah, I think the 18 was the free pass. Yeah. This is kind of
that restart much more calmer.
Yeah, a lot more calmer here. I guess they're going to try to take it nice and easy here, knowing about the 2-lap rule.
Computer versus controlled. But so far, the only car we've seen without a mistake here today has really been that 3.
Trying to force his teammate up high, going down the front stretch.
Yeah, it looks like Darrell, though, isn't going to be intimidated by this 3-car, Bobby Peters.
No pun intended.
Yeah, you know, I try to do that every once in a while.
Right.
Battle for third heating up. 43 in the 10 car once again. They were both involved in that incident out of turn number 2, but now seem to be side by side like nothing ever happened.
43. 10
Makes
contact.
contact.
Into the wall.
Big crash! Head on into the road barriers. That was the 20. Oh, what a savage hit!
We don't really see this. We don't really see this very often, but everybody. It looks
31
like
hit the wall right there. 3-car trying to take advantage as well. Lead change. Bobby Peters back up front. Not quite sure if that's going to be considered a caution, but a savage crash and head on into that pit road wall. That's the second time we've seen that today. First was the 22 of Joey Logano. Now the 20 of Eric Jones finds himself with trouble. And I believe we stay green.
Yes, we do stay green. There are no cautions. So it looks like Dylan is kind of going under fire here for second place to try to get around the 31.
If that is the case. Sorry.
Looks like we're seeing 2 different lines being in play here between the 31 and the 43, and how they get through the corner. It looks like Dylan tries to stay a little bit higher all the way through, while looks like Darrell tries to arc the corner, at least in 3 and 4. But now you see 2 different lines once again in 1 and 2 between the 31 and the 43.
That side-by-side racing will slow those guys down, and that allows the 3-car to breathe up front. You're the 10-car right now trying to get around this pack. Do you let the battle settle, or do you try and get 2 for 1 here?
I think you would try to let the battle settle, but if I have the momentum, I would definitely try to. And Newman and Darrell is having some trouble on the exit of turn number 4 here. But you know, as a driver here, I would just kind of let them try to battle it out and then try to pass them one at a time.
For the second time today, our championship contenders run 1, 2, and 3. As problems early have not totally destroyed the chances of the 43 and the 10, but they are piling up, and the 3-car is taking advantage of them, continuing to lead here in stage 2 of the Ford EcoBoost 200.
Yeah, we're seeing everybody kind of looks like trying to file out here, but for the most part, it seems like it's just going to be a battle for second place here in the championship. If these guys can actually just work together a little bit, and maybe they could possibly try to go after that 3-car.
Yes, it has. Also, it would be a nice time for another trivia. In 2002,
cue the duck.
Man, I haven't heard that in forever, man. Shout out to Aflac and Carl Edwards. Those were some great commercials back in the day.
Those were some great commercials. I'll give them credit for that. In 2002, for the 2002 season, this became the first year that Homestead was the season-ending race. Originally scheduled for 2001, but due to and attack in 9/11, what track became the season finale race in 2001?
Oh, I know this
New
one.
Hampshire, I believe.
Man, Gary, you took the stat right out of my hand. It was New Hampshire. Robbie Gordon scored that win. It was his
After
first
he
win.
bumped my favorite driver, Jeff Gordon, out of the way.
Yep,
Yeah,
which
no
may have been
relation.
a controversial move for that one.
And by the way, there's no relation between Jeff and Robbie. Just want to throw that out there. But
Right.
Jeff already had the championship locked up. He was just trying to get himself one more win on that year. And with a few laps to go, the Lowe's Chevrolet of Robbie Gordon moved Jeff Gordon out of the way for the win.
Right, which was
This track was repaved in 2003 to add progressive banking. That's why we see three distinct grooves around this racetrack right now. But do you remember the dramatic finish to end that one in 2003?
Keep going. That's up to y'all.
Yeah.
I do. It was Bobby Labonte and Bill Elliott. And Bill Elliott was going
My
for two in a
favorite
row.
driver
He
at
had
the time.
just won at Rockingham in the Cup Series. Used to race there back in 2003 as well. And on the final lap, had a tire go down, and Bobby Labonte went on. You know, that would be Bobby Labonte's last win. Oh, caution is out here.
Yes, it is. Caution is out. I
Caution
was
is
trying
out.
to cut in there, but I wanted to hear you guys finish your thought. We are having a caution. I'm not sure why the caution is out, but the caution is out here at Homestead.
probably for debris. Who knows?
Could be one of those debris cautions. I really think that's why they inserted the stages. I'm a controversy type of person. I kind of like what am I looking for? Conspiracy theories here. I think the stages have kind of eliminated those debris cautions.
Agreed.
Debris cautions statistically
18.
have been down this whole season,
Twice
and
a
actually
minute.
been on a downward trend since 2014. As we see, pit road is open. I believe 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and wedge adjustments for everyone, don't you think?
I
Maybe.
would think so, unless you are 25 to go on the stage. It'll be 24 when they take the green. But I do believe that you might see maybe some strategy to try and take 2 tires to get around that 3 car, since we're about halfway through the stage.
Going down pit
I
road.
do want to take the time during this stream. I do see that we do have a viewer, and I would like to say hello, viewer. Welcome to the stream. Glad you are able to watch the season finale for the Tronics Racing League Textron Aviation Cup Series.
Under caution for just the 3rd time today for an incident. 4th overall, including the stage end.
And I am hearing that the 20 car is out of the race. It looks like he's on pit road, but is not going anywhere.
Whoa, 18 misses the pits. What is up with the 18 car?
Joe Gibbs Racing struggling here at Homestead.
And it looks like the 20 car is out of the race, possibly with a blown motor.
Bobby
Oh,
Peters
yeah,
elects
maybe.
to start on the inside, the 43. Oh, you see him being roughed up by the 3 of Bobby Peters right there. I think that's just some casual contact between friends. These guys are friends off the racetrack, but right now a championship is on the line. That will change a friendship quickly.
It looks like they are changing lines here at the last possible moment. Bobby is going to try to take the outside on this restart.
He wants to be with his RCR teammate now, so I can't blame him for that.
I can't blame him. Try to get that push from that 31. Looks like he's probably had about the 2nd best car all day.
They'll go at the stripe. 3 car with the 31 behind him, 43 in the 10. Green flag back in
Green
the air.
flag.
They stack up on the inside. We're back to racing here at Homestead. Bobby Peters on the outside. 43 car now looking underneath. Under attack from the 31, but able to clear him off the corner. Nope, side by side as Bobby Peters tries to get away. 43 with a slide through the grass and off the track. Goes the 43. He'll lose a number of positions down the back straightaway.
3 cars still
Yes.
strong going into the corners. Well, we have the 10 to 31 battle. 10 into the wall. 10 car scrapes the wall. That may
18 is
cost
also
him.
into the wall.
23 laps remaining in stage number 2. Action all over this racetrack. It's the 10. Just got in front of the 18 right there. 3 car continuing to lead in front of the 31. They have been the class of the field. Can the rest of the field run those 2 down?
It'll be interesting to see if they could possibly get a little spread out here again. But it looks like if the 31 probably had another lap or two at the end of stage 1, he probably would have won the stage. 22 laps to go in stage 2 as they cross the line.
Tire management, we've been following that story all day long, and that will play a factor toward the end of this one and toward the end of this stage. We did see the 31 car perhaps not abuse his tires as much as the 3, trying to get away from the rest of the field. We'll see if the 31 can reel him in with 20 to go at the stripe.
As we get into the ends of these stages, it almost kind of reminds me of seeing some lower divisional racing with this tire management, almost kind of like a K&N race or a modified race. These guys, they just try to manage their tires as much as they can until possibly when it's time to go.
Exactly. That's the thing. You need to save tires somewhat here at Homestead.
It'll really play its dividends here as we get into the third stage, as we have 20 laps to go. Coming to 19 at the line.
With the
3 car being dominant, who knows?
Who knows, but it looks like the 31 is trying to get up to his back bumper, but it looks like the 3 is also kind of shaking off the draft like Neil Bonnet used to do back in the day.
Man, if you're Richard Childress, you just hope you don't see your top 2 cars that have been the class of the field take each other out.
Yeah, taking each other out would not be ideal for Richard's pocketbook, as these cars are very expensive to build.
Exactly. I mean, it's ain't like the 80s where he raced on Sunday, sell on Monday type deal. The evolution of these cars have changed.
31, he's right on his back bumper. Get some clean air on the nose. We'll see if that 31 car can use it to his advantage.
Absolutely. I remember Mikey Walks were talking about these cars a few weeks ago. It's the outside of these cars haven't changed. It's just the inside, what you can't see with these cars, that has changed dramatically over the years as far as the technology in these race cars. But it looks like they're slowly going back, or they're trying to go back to the old school field to try to please some of these fans.
Exactly.
Chevy in the real world haven't had the type of season we've come to expect from that manufacturer, only really scoring 4 wins, 3 of them with Chase Elliott, 1 with Austin Dillon in the 2018 Daytona 500. But right now, Chevy's running 1-2 with a Ford, Eric Almirola right behind him.
Oh, you see a slight bump in the exit of the corner there by the 31, giving it to the 3.
Oh, that drew up the 10 car. And he's back into play. That's the closest we've seen him. A slide job heading into turn number 2. And Eric Almirola will take the second spot away from the 31, who had made up so much time. Now he's set his sights on the 3 of Bobby Peters.
Yeah, you see the 10 car just absolutely, possibly he's saving his tires here for the end of the run. That's the 31.
31 to the wall, 31 to the wall.
How close on the edge are you guys in these cars running every lap, especially if you're out front?
Out front, I think you're more of just kind of cruising, but definitely when you're in traffic, you're kind of on edge just to make sure that your car is in line, and hopefully nobody around you is really battling with you. But once you're out in that clean air, you can pretty much drive it on cruise, unless you have an ill-handling car. But I mean, once you get right behind a guy, it's really hard. It makes your air kind of mad, and it makes the car even looser as you're going through these corners.
We see the 10 car reel in the 3. What's harder on the tires? Is it that low line or that high line?
They usually say the low line is harder on the tires because of the way the camber is, especially for the right front. The lower you run, the more pressure that right front tire is getting and the more wear it gets. But the higher you run, the less wear you see on the tires usually at the end of the run.
Obviously, this is a game, but one thing I like about NASCAR Heat 3 is the fact that in the real world, you have your spotter, you have your crew chief, all being able to give you the information that you perhaps need in a moment's notice. But here in NASCAR Heat 3, because it's the game, you have to be your own crew chief. You have to be a driver. How does that play into the minds of these guys as a championship is on the line?
That's one tough decision, really, if you're a spotter. Oh, something went wrong with the 43.
Yeah, it looks like the 43 has had a lot of problems here this stage. It looks like he's pretty much off the pace, and kind of waiting around for stage number 3.
So Bobby
That's been out.
not having stage 2 in his grasp, but remember, they only open up the checkbooks and the history books for 1 lap and 1 lap only, and that's the final one in stage 3.
Absolutely, and tonight we are going to see some history made either way, no matter who wins. As far as this league goes, this is their very first season, and they are looking to open the history books for the first ever inaugural champion of the Tronics Racing League.
Bobby Peters obviously has had one well of a season here, scoring 6 wins already inside the playoffs, including 3 in a row, in a row. If he could get it done today, it would be his 4th in a row, and that hasn't been done in the real world since 2007, Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. When he won
4 races in a row in the chase. Yeah.
3rd championship in a row as well.
2nd, actually.
Yes.
His 1st was in 2006.
Yeah, thanks for correcting.
But, as you see these cars, we haven't seen anybody win 5 in a row really in Cup in a long, long time. The furthest I can recall is when Ron Hornaday did it in the Truck Series. I want to say back in around 2008, 2009-ish was the last time anybody in the top 3 divisions won 5 races in a row.
It's been a long time. Let's pull up the stats. Last time a driver won 5 in a row. It's been a while.
Michael Taff, that was you. As we continue to see the 3-car, Bobby Peters lead in front of the 10, Eric Almirola. Now, he's been able to get his car better throughout the day, but still has a gap to try and fill between him and 2nd place, or 1st place, Bobby Peters.
We have less than 10 laps to go. It is 8 to go here in the stage. Will Eric Almirola be able to reel in the 3-car of Austin Dillon?
I'm not so sure, but I like the line he's using. Not
Seems
abusing
like
those tires
is really
as much.
Being able to play to his advantage, for sure. Is he's just kind of taking it nice and easy, finding the most grip that his car is able to work through in these corners.
You mentioned something earlier about how it's so tough to get around with the package that NASCAR brings here to Homestead. Once you're behind a driver, you're kind of at his mercy. It's so hard to pick up the draft and use that to slingshot around a guy here. Is that what the 3-car is doing to the 10? Is he disrupting that air that's really making it hard for the 10 to gain any ground on him?
Yeah, I mean, you really can't get up to these cars to try to pass them, and you really can't run side by side because it'll just take the air off on your car. But, I mean, it's just really hard to pass. I mean, once you get within 2, 3, 4 car lengths.
A
body's in the wall. Race leaders in the wall.
Trouble!
And the 10 cars around.
The 10!
Wow, I did not see that coming.
Implications as the caution comes out, please.
Unbelievable.
And this
I cannot believe
changes
just transpired.
everything. The first mistake we've seen from Bobby Peters shows that he is human, but he takes out a championship contender in the process. The 10 car involved as well.
Yeah, but you'll never see something like Richard Petty in 1967, who won 10 in a row.
Who won 10 in a row?
Petty, 67.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Richard Petty was really dominant in the 60s.
Yes,
that whole Petty team, Petty Enterprises, was really at the top of their game. We are having a little bit of a dispute right now between the 3 and the 10.
What happened there?
What's going on? We need to hear radio chatter.
I guess the 3 is really angry of how the 10. I guess the 10 car has been lagging here, but not from our broadcast. But the 3 car, after he hit the wall in turn 2, the 10 got together and the 10 kind of lagged, and then they both spun. At least that's the view we are hearing from Bobby.
Pit road is going to be open here.
Whoa, 18! What the? Couple cars trying to stay out and fake it.
Looks like the 10 car is going to try to stay out, but I believe if you were involved in the wreck, you will be starting in the rear. So
yeah,
that
would be a miscue on the 10th if that is indeed the rule. Why not come down and get a free pit stop if you have to start in the back of the pack?
Right. I mean, I would just take, especially this late into the run, I would have just taken 4 tires and maybe try to make a big run here for the end of the stage.
We've seen tires mean so much, and I don't know the handling of that car will be up to par as far as these leaders. It definitely won't with these guys taking 2 tires and some of them taking 4. How many laps are left in the stage?
Let me get that from the tower. Hold on just a moment.
Probably like 6 or 7.
See a little bit of a dispute between the 10 and the 3 continue.
Whoa!
Yeah, absolutely. We will be coming to 3 laps to go in the stage, coming to the green.
Oh, dang.
As we see the 10 and the 3 still making contact.
So for the first time
the 3
today,
car is still very unhappy
our
with
champion
the 10 car of Billy.
Right now, if it were to end right now, would be the 43. He's moved up to the championship lead.
Now he's all over the back bumper of the 22.
Slow and steady could win this race.
I think Bobby is just very unhappy right now. I guess he's hoping everybody will go the appropriate pace speed. I guess he's having trouble with everybody maintaining a good caution speed. Bobby is still ranting on the radio at this time, but looks like we are going to be coming to the green here with 3 laps of racing to go in stage number 2. Alex, take it away.
31 car get a good start. Oh, 43! Back across the track and into the 10!
And around goes the 43! More championship implications.
31 got a well of a start in front of the 18. The 10 car right now in the Katzberg seat trying to make something happen as the 3 fell back.
I am hearing word, sorry to interrupt you guys, from the tower. They are trying to give the 10 a pass-through for reckless driving.
Whoa! Well, that is huge.
After putting, apparently after spinning the 3 car the rest of the way around and then making contact with Dylan in the 43, that looks like
that's interesting because I didn't see that. I honestly don't know, and I'll say that on air. I don't know. It looked like from that incident, it looked like the 3 car hit the wall. He got loose, and the 10, excuse me, yeah, the 3 hit the wall, got loose, and the 10 was an innocent victim right there. So I'm not quite sure, but right now these guys need to run the race. We're coming to 1 lap to go in stage 2, and the 31 looks to try and get it done here at Homestead.
Yes, absolutely.
But look, if we go with the real-life championship for the Truck Series, Johnny Sauter, Justin Haley, Brett Moffitt, Noah Gregson are now your championship for Homestead.
Wow, that is great news to hear. I'm glad to hear that Johnny Sauter will be competing for, what is this? This is a 3rd championship in a row?
Probably.
Great for him. Music to the ears of the
like
31 as well as
2. It's going to be the 31 that wins.
Daryl getting it done.
Daryl McKinney. The RCR guys have swept the stages here as we head into stage 3. Mike, what do you think your strategy here would be at the end of stage 2? Would you stay out or would you pit?
I would pit for tires and fuel. I mean, if you stay out and try and go on old tires for stage 3, it will not work.
These guys were just on pit road, though, 3 laps ago, so this could shake up the restart here. And this will be our 3rd and final restart controlled by the computer of the season.
Yes, it will.
So, tempers flaring, bumpers banging. We've had it all here at Homestead, and we only have 2 stages left. Now we got to crown a champion here, Mike and Gary. Who do you guys like for the end of this one?
I don't know at the moment. Oh, 43 stayed out. Whoever's the fastest and consistent to win the race. Whoa, what the heck happened to the 43?
I don't know if they're going green right here. I don't believe they're going green.
Well, what happened to the 43?
We're not quite sure, so as we find out, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more action right here from Homestead.
We'll pause for 10 seconds for station identification here on MRN Radio. Apparently I've lost feed, so I'm just using radio commentary for here. So are they going green? Gary!
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's confirmation.
They are waiting on Dylan right now. The 10 car does have a verbal warning on jumping the last restart. I guess they're waiting on Dylan to possibly take his spot back. That's what I'm hearing, but the 43, he looks kind of stuck there.
Is he still on the front stretch?
Yeah, he's still on the front stretch. Ghost on my screen.
Wow.
I'm not sure what's going on.
They're going this time.
Oh, no, they're not.
At 22.
So this has turned into an absolute crapshoot.
Yeah, this
hard
is
telling what is going on here.
Yeah. It looks like they've gone green, and
yep, green flag is back out.
They're gonna race it back to the line, I would assume, right here.
I would assume.
What happened to the 43? He's now gotten multiple laps down.
I'm not sure. Let me find out for you. What's going on with
technical difficulties? We'll be back after this commercial break.
the 43 is out of the race.
What?
Yeah, Dylan is out of the race. He had to make an exit. I guess the engine was losing power, and he's just lost all power.
Oh. Well.
So now the championship comes
between. Caution is out. We are hearing that the caution is out.
Caution is out for what? Oh, I see. Debris off of 3. Debris off of 3 is what we're going to go with. I don't know why the caution would be up, but I'm looking at debris off of 3.
How many laps are we looking at here toward the end here, Gary? We'll have that answer for you here in just a moment.
As we would like to thank our sponsors so far. Textron Aviation, Tronics,
and Dale, who's been giving us great images all day long for this.
And exactly.
Oh, the 43 is back.
The 43 is back.
He went 2 laps down. He might be able to get 1 lap back.
And they're still going. No caution?
That was weird.
Okay, this race may have just turned into... I'm going to say this right now. Whoever's recording, cut this. This race has turned into a shit show, to be honest.
Well, this is a battle for the lead right here between the 3 and the 31, and here comes the 10 as well.
Here comes the 10. No, I think I was about to say, I thought 43 was on the lead for a second.
He's definitely 2 laps down. He got 1 of his laps back under that unusual yellow-green flag mix we had just a couple laps ago. So, but right now, Bobby Peters is your leader with the 31 and the 10 right behind him.
Here comes the 10 car. All over the back of the 31. Side bite. Never mind.
18 was looking a little racy. Haven't seen him up front much of the day, but he's been closer to the front as of late. Caution and a spin. I believe caution was out right there.
Caution for what?
More debris in turn 3.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Someone else has gone behind the wall. Who was it? The 22?
Yeah, so we have the 22 and the 20 are out.
The 22 is out of this race, so the 22 is done for the night. I'd say we pull the 22 aside, get his words on what happened.
.43 is going to get one of his laps back. Or is he?
Yeah, he already did.
Going green this time, I believe.
7-4.
What are they saying over there, Gary?
I am not. I don't know. Everybody's kind of driving like jackasses right now. 22's out of the race. 20's out of the race.
Green flag. Yeah, I don't blame them if they want to suggest. Oh boy.
Is this good? Can I restart the broadcast now? Okay,
yeah,
we're gonna restart it.
What happened with the broadcast? Your broadcast went down?
No, my broadcast didn't go down. I cut it because it was a shit show.
I don't blame you for cutting it. I'm not even
we
recording.
are back underway.
I'm good.
Well, the race commentary is back underway. Is Alex still here?
I am still here. Sorry about that. I was trying to figure out exactly what was going on as I see a battle shape up for third. The 18, haven't talked much about him all day long, but right now he is the sandwich, the meat in the sandwich between championship contenders. As the 10 and the 43 try to get around him, and the 3 and the 31 try to get away.
Looks like the 31 is able to take the lead here with being able to, with the commanding lead right now.
That's the truth.
Now, tire management, we've talked about it all day long. Do we see somebody break strategy? And for our first green flag pit stops of the race, do we see these people take 2 tires and get track position to try and get around the 3 car? Do you react, or do you force him to make a move that you want to fall in your factor?
I mean, if I am the 10 and the 43, I'm on the offensive side. I don't want to make Bobby react instead of attack and get him off his game plan. And if that means short pitting or possibly waiting for Bobby to pit before anybody else and you stay out a couple laps longer, maybe even drop him a lap down, I mean, that's what you got to do to possibly win this championship.
Are these, is this something that you're thinking about at over 200 miles an hour while you're trying to make a move, being your own crew chief and being the driver at the same time?
I think you're always thinking about things like that as you're driving along, especially being your own race strategist, your own crew chief, your own even your own car owner at times. I think you're just trying to think of the best race possible, and I think also, you also try to figure out, what are the other guys doing as well. You try to maybe even let them drop hints at you throughout the race.
Most of these leagues race with a party, as we see a lead change right there. Bobby Peters able to get back up to the front. Ooh, crossover move. 31 car now side by side. That, if they continue this, man, ooh, a little bit of side drafting right there. Allows that 31 to pull out in front, and the 10 car could take advantage of this now. 3 cars right back at him. Side drafting. Explain what you're doing there.
I mean, when you're trying to side draft somebody, you're trying to take the air off their car. As you see contact between these two, you're just trying to get the other guy loose, as you saw right there, and just trying to gain every advantage that you can. Down for the championship lead. Oh my goodness, Billy is trying to make a move on the 3 car.
Oh, he drove it in there. Bobby was having none of it.
No, it looks like, but the 10 is still ranked there on his bumper. We know they got together earlier on in the race, and maybe there's going to be some retaliation at some point between one of these 2 drivers.
The more and more the race, as this race goes on, the less and less I see the 3 and the 31 working as teammates. Ooh, he really drove it in right
really
there.
Kicked up. You're really starting to see Darrell be a little more aggressive and try to win this race.
Exactly. How many laps left?
Let me find out from the tower. You guys keep going and doing your thing.
Keep in mind,
we'll go through
the championship contenders, it doesn't matter what they have as far as trying to win this race. It's basically who finishes ahead of who.
Exactly.
Winner takes all.
New leader.
On the inside, it's the lane we haven't typically seen. As you see the 3 cars slide over.
4 laps to go at Homestead as you see an intense battle for the lead.
Try job!
Oh, look at that slider.
How many laps to go?
Oh, they make contact. 34 laps to go at Homestead. 33 laps to go.
One more pit stop.
34, sorry. Yeah, they're going to have to pit at least one more time. I think you're going to see some green flag stops probably for the first time today if this racing keeps up. Between
the first time today and the last time all season.
Absolutely, as we are seeing the last 30 laps, 33 laps coming to the line here of this 2018 season.
Exactly.
You see these 3 and 3, the 31 and the 10. It's now a 3-car battle for the lead.
Oh, there it is! Big crash out of turn 2! The 3's involved! The 31 is in it!
Big caution, big wreck.
Before the thing gets through!
Everybody's going nuts.
Holy! Unbelievable!
That didn't work out for anyone.
No, I mean, you would think there'd be a little bit more give and take than that, but I guess within 30 to go, they're really just trying to battle it out as cleanly as they can, but they just pushed the edge of the envelope and crossed it there.
18 is your new leader. Unbelievable. I cannot believe what just transpired this. And another contact! More wrecking!
Who would have thunk it? But looks like the 43 might be getting a lap back here.
He is.
So the 18, our new leader, we were riding along
is back
with
in this
the 31.
championship now.
My question is, is there going to be a penalty called for that?
And who's calling these penalties as well, Gary?
I believe it is between Bobby and race director Mike. No, not Mike. Sorry, Todd this evening.
If I was doing race director, I wouldn't be in the booth, sadly.
Yeah, but Mike, it's been a pleasure having you on here. But I believe it is Todd and Bobby there, kind of working together, kind of splitting the RD duties a little bit, with Todd doing most of the calls inside the party. Which, with spectator mode, it really
has its ways.
Mode and be able to race direct and make calls of the race.
Right. And
all right, we'll get this
I say after this race, let's all get thrown out of Applebee's.
I like Applebee's. I like food.
Yeah, let's all get thrown out of Applebee's. What else do we have to
do? Shake and bake.
Exactly.
Oh man! And it looks like the 10 car is going to win the battle on pit road.
The battle on pit road, and there's problems coming out of the pits.
However, the 18 should inherit the lead, as he was the only car not involved in the wreck, and that was on the lead lap. The 43 car did get one lap back.
He raced it back and beat everybody back.
So he got more than one lap. He should be on the lead lap.
He should be, yes. Should be on the lead lap and good to go. He's back in this championship.
Unbelievable.
I do believe that the 18 will be the race leader.
Well,
this is the most
intense 30 laps
I've ever seen. The lead
calamity with 30 to go. How about a championship on the line, folks? What will these drivers do for that?
Be right back. I gotta go take.
It's amazing what they'll do. I think it looks like they are really. It looks like.
We'll get the green flag with 5 cars really remaining. 18 leads them down. And we're back to racing. 10 car,
Looks
your
like
championship
here's
leader.
the 10.
That position will change
Looks like
as the 3 dives
went-
underneath.
Oh, and oh my goodness, you see 31 of Daryl being aggressive.
He did. Here comes the 3, slicing and dicing, now looking underneath the 18.
And
18 right in front of the championship leaders in the wall. The 43 and the 10 are going to take the brunt from that mistake on the 18.
Unbelievable. I just come back to see that. Wow. Huge implications. The 18 may have some words from that 10 car.
I think the 18 was the one in the wall, though.
He was.
And it looks like there's still an intense battle between teammates, but you see the 43 of Dylan not giving up, and he's running around in third trying to catch these leaders.
That's unreal. Some of these things that have happened tonight.
Oh, yes, a lot of implications have happened in this race.